The Cookie Monster comes to visit, and he brings with him 3 containers. In the first container, he puts in 1 cookie. In the second container, he puts in 2 cookies. And in the third container, guess how many cookies? 3. Yes, 3. That's right. And he tells you that you can have all of these cookies and eat them all if you can get them all out in 2 moves. So what does a move look like? A move means that you have to choose any number of containers, and then you have to take the same number of cookies from each container that you chose. So let's say that we choose all of the containers. Well, the container on the left has only got 1 cookie, so I can only take 1 cookie at most from each container. Okay, let's do it. Whoop! Okay, and now for my second move, I'm going to choose the container on the right, and this time I'm going to take 2 cookies. Whoop! Have I solved the problem? No, because there's 1 cookie in the middle. Oh! Okay, so let's try it again. I've got these containers. This time I'm going to start on the right. I'm going to take all 3 of these cookies on the right. And that looks better. Okay, and now I'm going to take these 2. Oh no, I can still only take 1 cookie from those. So I'm left with 1 cookie again. That doesn't work. So we've failed. Now it's time to let your kids try to succeed. So you can hand out this piece of paper to them, and some manipulative can represent cookies. Mathematicians are rarely known to deal with cookies. They like something a little bit more abstract. So we're going to deal with circles. And we've got 3 obvious choices here. We can take 3 containers and choose 1 cookie from each, or we can choose this container on the right and choose all 3 cookies, or we can choose the 2 containers and choose 2 cookies from each. And this ends up to be the solution. So now you see we can choose for our second move the container on the left and the container on the right, and choose the remaining cookie from each. Let's do that. There, I've got those. And you see I've got a nice little pattern going there, a pattern of squares. So what do you do whenever the kids solve that? Well, what you can do is you can give them this. And you can say, ha! Now what does a Cookie Monster do? Well, now he gives you a whole bunch more containers. And he says, okay, here, if you can solve for these 7 containers, you can have all of the cookies that are in them, but you only have 3 moves to empty all of the containers. 3 moves, you say? Oh, that looks tough. Cookie Monster said, oh, very, very tough. Okay, so how do we move forward? Well, they might choose all of the containers and choose 1 from each. They might choose 6 of the containers and choose 2 from each. Now they could choose 1 from each. I'm just saying you probably want to be greedy in this game. So we're going to say that you probably want to choose 2 from each if you choose 6. Or you could choose 5 containers and choose 3 from each. But none of these work. And then they come across the square. And the square seems to work because we're left with 2 mini problems that we've already seen before. And we know how to solve those. We solve those with squares. So we can add squares like this. And we've solved it. Because now we can just add, watch this. We can just add another one here. And we've got it. In 3 moves, we've solved this problem. This is what I would like to aim for all grade 1 students to tackle this problem. I don't expect them all to solve it, but I expect them all to solve the first problem of the 2-move problem and to be working on this problem. But some of your kids are going to solve this. And what on earth do you do with them? Well, so this is the worksheet that you can give to them for this problem. What do you do with the kids who solve it? Well, of course, you give them something tougher. And here we go to 15. And by this time, you will be amazed that the kids who get here will be understanding that there's probably they will understand that there's a pattern involved. And although half of them will flounder, another half will solve this quickly. And they figure out that, again, they see that there's patterns here that they have seen before. Here's another pattern that they've seen before. And they quickly solve it in 4 moves. Okay, I expect probably you're looking at 10% of students maximum to solve this problem, or to be working on this problem. Maybe only 5% will solve it in your grade 1 class. But then you can bring everybody back and you can show them that there's such beauty here, there's pattern here, there are squares here, and they've played with all of these different elements from mathematics in this beautiful problem. This problem comes from the Inquisitive Problem Solver. I've adapted it to the grade 1 and 2 class. But this is a fantastic book for recreational mathematicians. Not for your grade 1 student, but a very, very good book.